Welcome to Table for One. I'm the narrator, and today I'll be playing Spirit Island. I'll be using a spirit from the Jagged Earth expansion, and that is going to be Shroud of Silent Mist. Now, immediately, the first time I saw Shroud of Silent Mist, I recognized it, and right away I knew from where it was too. It's featured on the cover of the 22nd installment of R.L. Stine's beloved Goosebumps series of books. I'm, of course, talking about Ghost Beach. I feel kind of silly because I read that book as a kid, and at the time in the mid 90s, it was just totally over my head that it was about a board game that was going to come out in about 25 years. So in preparation for this video, I went ahead and reread the book. I hope that it'll be helpful. It was I recommend it. It was a multi-generational tale about the Sadler family from the 1640s until the 1990s, although mostly focused sort of in the present day with the brother and sister duo of Jerry and Terry Sadler as they go digging around where they're not supposed to. And it's got a lot of good stuff in it. I really enjoyed the opening chapter in particular because it was all a dream. And this was the 90s, don't forget, so this was decades before Inception, for example. I think this is actually where Christopher Nolan was inspired to use that technique in that movie in Inception. But I don't think he quite nailed it like we did in like R.L. Stine did in Ghost Beach, because Ghost Beach was unencumbered by things like having the dream be relevant to the plot in some way, or have any foreshadowing or anything. It was just sort of a spooky dream. And so, good on Ghost Beach. Additionally, while I read it, I also listened to the album Blonde by the band Ghost Beach. It was a pretty good album, I've got to say. Again, they made their album in, I want to say 2014, which was, a couple decades after this book came out. I assume they're named after the book. And their music, as much as I liked it, was sort of like a poppy dance rock. It just really didn't fit the tone of the book at all, so I think they kind of failed in that respect to capture the essence of the book, because the book was more spooky. I didn't hear any theremin noises or any laughter from Vincent Price or anything. But anyway, I hope that helps me prepare for this game. In addition, I will also be using the adversary, the Kingdom of Sweden. And to prepare for that, I was kind of too tired after reading the book and listening to the album, so I didn't do anything. So today I will use Shroud of Silent Mist and the Kingdom of Sweden. Let's get rolling. And we're all set up now to play Spirit Island. So as I mentioned in the intro, I did a lot of things to try and get ready for this matchup of Shroud of Silent Mist against the Kingdom of Sweden, and to play with Shroud of Silent Mist specifically. One thing I did not do to prepare was actually play a game with the spirit, so we're going to see how this goes. I have played with it before, but it's been a while, and I didn't feel like I really knew what I was doing. So I thought that would be a perfect scenario to try and play against the Kingdom of Sweden on level 2. I haven't really gotten into the adversary deck very much. I feel like I'm a pretty intermediate player, and I'm just starting to test that stuff out and to play with scenarios a little bit. I think they're fun, but definitely I'm not at the level where I can just grab a spirit and be like, I'll play England 6. It's just not where I'm at yet, but that's okay. Having fun at the level I'm at. So I'm all set up here, again for Sweden 2. And then I've got my blight here. I just went ahead and covered these up so I don't accidentally take blight from the box, because it's easy for me to forget. Keep it right there next to the island board as opposed to way over here on the island card. So that's what that's doing there. So let's go ahead and do this initial explore into the sand. I'm on board F today. Normally when I play Spirit Island, I roll a die to see which board, but I went ahead and picked this one out because it, I don't know, looked to my eyes to be favorable for Shroud. And because I'm not super confident about the matchup. So we'll see if that turns out to be the case. Let me grab my cards here. And I know I want to get these tracks uncovered because there's 0 energy and 1 card play is painful. It's not very much. So I'm going to go ahead and put 2 presents out. They're both range 0. I'll take 1 from each track. And I'll just double up on the 2 presents that I currently have on the board. So that was the growth option. Now I gain 1 energy, and I can play 2 cards. And I was looking at these cards, and I think the way that I want to start is I'm going to play Flowing and Silent Forms Dart By, which generates 2 fear, and won't really do anything else for me this turn. But it protects presence during a ravage. And then I'll play the Fog Closes In, which does damage and pushes Dahan. I'm trying to set myself up to be in lands that I can damage some invaders, but they won't heal, which will generate me some fear and potentially some energy, which will be important. So I'm just trying to figure out how to best move around this presence to do that. But I know these are the 2 cards I'm going to play, so I'll go ahead and pay my 1 energy. And now it's just a matter of where do I want to do that. And again, part of the reason I picked these 2 is because I can unlock both of the innates as well. So this is the only one that's fast. And so I'll do this in land 1. So I'm going to move this adjacent presence. And now in land 1, I generate 2 fear. And it says when presence in target land would be destroyed, its owner may, if possible, instead push that presence. So that shouldn't be relevant this turn. And then it says I could gather the presence of another spirit, but obviously it's a solo game. And I don't have anything else fast. So we burn an event card. Should maybe give myself a little more room there. Check for Blighted Island effects, and there are none. There are no earned fear cards. So now we go to the invader piece. They're going to build in the sand, which will be 1 town in land 1, and a city in land 8. 3 cities on the board. Not great for turn 1, but it could be good for Mist. Now, exploring in the jungle. Get along, fellas. There you go. So now slow powers. I know there's going to be some blight in these first few turns, but I can't say that I like it. I think I'm going to leave land 8 how it is. I don't want to go in there and then lose presence. Here's what we'll do. For Suffocating Shroud, I'm going to gather this presence in, and then do 1 damage, which takes out that Explorer. I'm going to push from land 5 for Lost in the Swirling Haze, push 1 Dahan into land 4. See if that was a good idea. And then in the fog closes in, I'm going to move this presence. And then for each, I'm targeting land 4, for each adjacent land with your presence, 1 damage. Oopsie. Let's push the Dawn after. For each adjacent land, with your presence, 1 damage to a different invader. There's 1, 2 adjacencies. There's only 1 invader, so I'll do 1 damage to this city. Push 2 Dahan, there's no Dahan there, and now I'll do Lost in the Swirling Haze and push the Dahan in. Alright, so that was slow phase, and then time passes, and that city does not heal, so I have 1 land with a damaged invader, so that's 1 fear. And now we're at the growth phase again. So I'm going to do growth 3 and gain a minor power. I want to look for air probably. Moon and water are good. Avoid fire. So what do we have here? Enticing Splendor. Call to Ferocity, Elusive Ambushes, and Entrancing Apparitions. So it's really important to me to look at the elements. So really, these two I'm not going to pick because of the fire. Enticing Splendor is 0 cost, which is important, but Entrancing Apparitions gives me some defend, lets me gather explorers, which is somewhat helpful, but really it's super on element. So that's important as well. So I'm going to take that card. Now I can add a presence, and I will do that from the bottom track. Add a presence to mountain or wetland. Add that to this mountain, land 6. And now I gain 1 energy, and I can move a presence. I think I'm going to I'll move the presence. What can I do? Yeah, from land 6 into land 1. Put those there so they're visible. Okay, and now I can play up to 2 cards. Oh, and because I took this miner that did not have fire, I also gain energy. So I have 2 energy. I could play up to 2 cards. I have a 2 energy card and 2 1 energy cards. I have no unlocked elements on my tracks. If I play these 2, I can get 1 damage with Suffocating Shroud, which I think I want. And then what do these do? This helps during a Ravage or Defend. Oh, that would be good. Defend would be good. I have 2 Defend 2s. Well, not exactly, but... Oh, this one's fast. I guess I don't know what the heck I'm doing. Gosh. Alright, well, I will play Unnerving Pall and Entrancing Apparitions. Will I? Won't I? Gosh, I'm having a hard time with this. I think I'm keeping Unnerving Pall. Just playing Entrancing Apparitions. That's the only combination. So I won't get any innates, but that is what I'm going to play. So this does defend 2. I'll defend 2 and land 1. And that's it. That's all it does. Okay. Interesting. Well, let's see what happens. So draw an event. Coastal towns multiply. Add 1 town to a coastal land adjacent to a coastal town. Well, that is going to ruin my plan for next turn, but that's okay. Let's do it. It's going to put this here. Next, the token piece is Explorer's Blunder. On each board, destroy 2 explorers among lands with beasts. I have a beast in land 7, and there are no explorers there. Finally, Coming of Age. On each board, add 1 Dahan to a land with Dahan and no blight or disease. So that could be land 4 or 6. It could be land 1, but it's not necessary. I think I'm better off grouping them, so let's put 1 in land 4. That's the end of that event. Then we check for Blighted Island effects, and there aren't any. There are no Earned Fear cards, so now we go to the Invader stage. Oh, phooey. I messed up. Oh, I can't go back. I messed up, though. I forgot about Sweden. So the Ravage in the Sand will start in land 1. So they do 3 damage. I defend 2. That's only 1 damage. And then the Dahan fight back. They do 4. That destroys the town, generates 1 fear. And then in land 8, They do 6 damage. I did not defend it, and I should have, because Sweden's special rule, level 1, if they do at least 6 damage to the land during Ravage, add an extra blight. Oh man, I just wasn't thinking. I should have played Unnerving Paul in land 1 and used Entrancing Apparitions in land 8 and avoided that. That's a big problem. Oh well, that's what I did. So that was the Ravage step. Build in the jungle. There's no one in land 5, and land 2 we just get rid of the disease token. Explore now the wetlands. Land 3 and land 7. Alright, that was the end of the invader piece, and I have nothing to do in the slow phase. So this card gets discarded. Time passes. The Dahan in land 1 does not heal. City in land 4 does not heal. I have 1 land with a damaged invader, so that's 1 damage. That's it. Man, well. Now what the heck am I going to do? Man, I messed this up really bad. Land 2 is going to double blight as well and flip the blight card. Unless I can get a miner that'll do 2 fast damage in land 2. I need to do fast damage in land 2 and then play Unnerving Paul. That's my only shot. Alright, I'm going to go with Grow 3. Maybe I should have practiced differently. You've got to be kidding me. Alright, well these all have fire element. I can't seem to line them up. Close enough. And none of them are fast either. Oh my goodness. These are not going to help. I mean, even 1 blight will flip the fear card, so. Oh boy. I don't know what I'm going to do. I guess I'll take Poison Dew. At least it can be used in any land. This is not looking good. And I place a presence. I'll take it from this bottom track. It's got to be a mountain or a wetland. Oof, this is bad. Alright, I'll put it in this mountain. Oops, alright, like that. I'll gain my 1 energy. I'm going to play Unnerving Paw. Do I want to play Poison Dew? Will that get me anything? It won't help me from an element perspective. Probably help to destroy an invader somewhere. I don't even know if I want to play that card. The energy's tight with this spirit. I'm just going to do this. Pay my 1 energy for Unnerving Paw. And I'm going to use it as a fast power to move a presence in to land 2. And then 1 fear, and defend 1 per presence you have in target land when it's used. So I'm going to lose that presence. Yeah, I'll take it from the sand, actually. I'll lose the presence, but it'll reduce the damage from 6 to 5, so I don't double blight. I'll still blight, but I won't double blight. Oh my goodness, I'm in such a bad spot. Well, that was the fast power, so let's check this event. Outpaced. Humanity has always been faster than you, but the invader's terrifying speed catches you off guard. Each spirit chooses independently for each of the slow powers played this turn. Well, I haven't played any. Discard the power card, or pay energy or destroy presence, and then resolve the power card now. Yeah, I didn't play any slow powers, and I don't have, yeah, so I'm just going to skip that. For the token, Lingering Plagues. On each board, add 1 disease. Ignore disease during builds this phase. Okay. I think I'll add disease to land. I don't know, 8. We don't want that to get any worse. And raids in force. Each spirit chooses a different land where Dahan outnumber buildings. Each Dahan there deals 1 damage. Well, the only land available is 4. I don't want to do that, because that's my only fear generation. Each spirit chooses a different land where Dahan outnumber buildings. Each Dahan there does 1 damage. I don't think I have a choice. It doesn't say I may. Then again, in land 3, Dahan outnumber buildings. They can do 1 damage there. Let's do that. Okay. Well, it wasn't the worst event card ever, but I'm still in a terrible spot. No blighted island effects for now, so let's get this fear card. I'm at terror level 1. Explorers are reluctant. During the next normal explore, skip the lowest numbered land matching the invader card on each board. It's positive, anyway. I won't do anything for land 2. God, I still feel so dumb on land 8. I should have remembered that rule. Oh well. Okay, so now the invaders ravage in the jungle, so nothing happens in land 5. In land 2, they do 5 damage after my defend, which destroys my presence. Adds a blight. flip the blight card. Let's see. All things weaken. Ongoing. Starting next turn. Invaders and Dahan have 1 less health, to a minimum of 1. The land takes blight on 1 less damage, so down to 1. Oh my goodness, when you add blight, it destroys all presence and beasts in that land, and 1 presence in an adjacent land. I feel like this game's already over. Oh, I can... 3 blight, but they blight at 1. That's misery. Alright, so I've gone through half my blight. We're still... we haven't flipped the first stage 2 card yet. That was Ravage. This might be a pretty short game. Build in the wetlands. It's just going to be land 7. And explore the wetlands. I believe we explore first. But they do not explore the lowest numbered. So they won't do land 3. They will explore land 7. And after invaders, this is the escalation. After invaders explore into each land this phase, if that land has at least as many invaders as Dahan, replace 1 Dahan with 1 town. Luckily there's no Dahan there this time. But that's something that could come up in future explores. I have no slow powers this time, so Unnerving Paul is now discarded. And time passes, so I get 1 fear. I'm just not generating the fear that I need to. Not even close. I don't know what I could do to stop land 7 from blighting. I might need to reclaim. No, there's no fast damage in there. I need fast damage pretty desperately. I can reclaim and gain a power card. Or I can add a presence and gain a power card. Let's do growth 3 again. It was not kind to me last time, but hopefully it's just bad luck. It's not 4 more fire cards. Okay. Goodness gracious, 3 more fire cards. What's my one option? Haunted by primal memories. Within 2 of a sacred site. Land with invaders, 1 fear, defend 3, and if there are beasts present, 2 more fear. That might be exactly the card I need this turn. Okay, so that's what I'm taking. Wasn't fast damage like I wanted, but I think it will be useful. And there's no fire element on that card, so I gain 1 energy. And now, oh, I still get to put a presence. A mountain or wetland. Let's go ahead and put that in. Yeah, here in land 7. Now I gain an energy from my track. I can play up to 3 cards. Let me just look. What would this do element-wise? This would be 2 moons, 2 air, and a water. Alright, let's do that. We'll play those 2 cards. 3 energy. And it will unlock the first tier of Suffocating Shroud. And Haunted by Primal Memories is fast, so when you use it on land 7, which is definitely within range 2 of a sacred site, there are invaders there. It says 1 fear. Defend 3. And if beasts are present, 2 fear, plus 2 fear. Here we go. Everything else is slow, so now we go to the event card. We have a blighted island. On each board, add 1 blight to a land adjacent to a land with blight. That's not good. Spirits may prevent this on any or all boards by destroying 2 presents from each board to be protected. Ugh. Can I afford that? Suppose I could. I'm going to destroy presents out of land 1 and 1 of them out of land 4. Don't love it, but I can't afford more blight. Prey on the unwary. Each beast destroys 1 explorer. Add 1 beast to a board without 1. Alright, so the beast destroys an explorer. And Coming of Age. On each board, add 1 Dahan to a coastal land with Dahan. Again, I think it's good to group them, so I'm going to add to land 3. And that's it for this card. At least the event cards have been relatively kind, for the most part. Blighted Island. Again, ongoing. What did this say? Oh yeah, invaders and Dahan have 1 less health. The land takes blight on 1 less damage. And blight destroys all presence and a presence in an adjacent land and all beasts in that land. Goodness gracious, okay. And we have 1 fear card. Let's take a look. We're still at terror level 1. Each player may gather 1 town into a coastal land. Okay, there's only 1 town that's in a coastal land. I think technically I can put it in a different one. But I don't see any reason to do that. I think I'm going to leave it. Each player may, so I don't have to. Okay. Now the invaders ravage in the wetlands, so land 3, nothing happens. Land 7, they do 3 damage, and I'm defending 3 there, so again, nothing happens. Thank goodness. Now they build in the wetlands, and I didn't think this far ahead. So we're putting a city here. And we're exploring into the mountains. Which could cause some trouble. And land 4, we have to look at this escalation rule. After invaders explore into each land phase, if that land has at least as many invaders as Dahan, replace 1 Dahan with a town. And they do. They have at least that many. Man, oh man. I'm real close to the end of the game already, it looks like. Alright, that was the invaders. That was terrible. Now... there's a land where I can do 1 damage, and somewhere else I can do 1 damage to each invader and Dahan. I'll start with... I can't do all the things I'd like to do. In land 7, I'll do suffocating. No, in land 7, I'll do dissolving vapors. It's 1 fear, 1 damage to each invader. Takes out the explorer. 1 to the town, 1 to the city. And 1 to each Dahan. There's no Dahan. Now let me look at that blight card again. Invaders and Dahan have 1 less health. So really this city has 1 less. This town has 1 less, so I actually just destroyed it. Which gets me another fear. And the city has 1 less. That's interesting, I forgot about that. So now I can do 1 damage. It's probably pretty important to take out that city in land 7. But I'm hoping there's a way I can do fast damage next time. I'm going to do... I'm going to move this presence to land 6 and do 1 damage there. Really would have liked to do it in land 4 or land 8. Land 2. I had other options that would have maybe been better for the spirit, but not for the long-term survival of the island as it is. So that's the end of the slow phase. Discard these. And now time passes. This Dahan heals. And I have 2 lands with damaged invaders, so each of those is 1 fear. Now I need to reclaim my cards and gain a power card. Let's hope there's something helpful. Oh boy, oh boy. Are there this many fire cards in the deck, or am I just unlucky? Well, lets me... I don't know. I'm not real psyched about any of these. I guess Spur On with Words of Fire is alright. I don't have the energy to pay for something like that, though. I'd have to pay 1 for that card, and then pay for, the second card. But it allows me to play something slow fast, which could really be helpful. I don't want to take Here There Be Monsters to get the 1 energy and then not play it. But I don't know, maybe I do. Maybe I just need the energy. Gosh. This is not looking good. I am going to take Here There Be Monsters, which I'm pretty disappointed about. I don't really want that card. But I get 1 energy. Now I've completed my growth, so I get 1 energy from my track. And now I can play up to 3 cards if I have the energy for it. I do have a lot of cards, but not ones that I'm real thrilled with. Land 7's a problem immediately, and 4 is not looking good either. Oh boy, I am in big, big trouble. I can play 3 cards. These two are both 0 energy, so I don't even care what they do. I think I need to play them. Gosh. I feel like I need Dissolving Vapors to be used in land 4 after the build. To then be able to use Unnerving Paw there before it ravages. But I feel like I need Haunted by Primal Memories to defend land 7 now. I've only got enough energy to play one of them. Even if I took one of these cards back, it's not a matter of card plays, it's a matter of energy. I wonder what the chances are. I'm on Terror level 2. Got 1 earned fear card. This would get me a 2nd fear card. There's a beast in land 7. Between 2 level 2 fear cards and a beast in the event deck, I wonder what the chances are that they won't ravage in land 7. Maybe I risk. Oh, but if the whole point is if I risk it, then I can play this. If I play this, I'll only have the 1 fear card. Oh no, I'll still get a 2nd. Oh boy. I've got to chance it. I think if I play Haunted by Primal Memories, I'll be fine this turn and in big trouble the next turn. I think I want to survive past next turn. Okay, so that's going to cost me 2 energy. And this one's fast. These 2 are slow. Now what do I have? I've got 3 moons, 3 air, 2 water. 3 moons, 3 air, 2 water. What does level 2 of Suffocating Shroud do? For each adjacent land with your presence, 1 damage to a different invader. Would I still unlock that same thing if I had played this? No, I wouldn't have the water. So I'll stick with this plan. Alright, so I have 1 fast power, which generates 2 fear. Gets me another card. I've got to pick a target land. I guess I'm picking land 7. When presence in target land would be destroyed, its owner may, if possible, instead push that presence. Okay, there's nothing. Let's see the event. So we have a blighted island, festering pits of blight. On each board with invaders, add 1 blight to a land with at least 2 blight, but do not cascade. Oh boy. So I'm just losing a blight anyway. It's really bad. It's got to go to land 8. On each board, add 1 disease. Ignore disease during builds this invader phase. I feel like that comes up a lot. Put it in land 2. It's not appreciated. Fierce Mane. In 1 fear per land with invaders where Dahan outnumber buildings. There's no such land. So the the event card did not save me. The blight card certainly didn't save me. Let's check these two fear cards. So first, again, Terror level 2. Each player chooses a different land. In chosen lands, gather up to 2 Dahan, then 1 damage if Dahan are present. I could, if I gather 2 Dahan from land 3 into land 4, I could clear it. I think I need to do that. Gather 2 Dahan, then 1 damage per Dahan present. So that's 3 damage. This only has 1 health. That's a fear. 1 damage. And 1 damage. This only had 1 left, so that's 2 fear. Alright, what's the other fear card? In each land with a token, or adjacent to 3 or more such tokens, defend 5. Thank goodness. Glad I did that right. So we have a beast token in land 7, so we are defending 5. Whew. Well, that was lucky. Alright, so now the invaders go. They ravage in the wetlands. 3 damage in land 7, defends 5, so nothing happens. And land 3 is empty. Build in the mountains. Both lands 4 and 6 are clear. And explore the jungles. Ooh. And neither of those lands has Dahan, so the escalation doesn't do anything. Okay, now slow powers. Now I've got, because land 4 is cleared, I have a lot more flexibility than I expected I would. So somewhere I can do damage based on adjacent presence. Somewhere else I can push a Dahan. Somewhere else I can push the town. Somewhere else, 1 damage to each invader. And Dahan. And the wetlands is kind of past me, so I don't really care about that city anymore, I don't think. I think I'll start with dissolving vapors. Oh, wait. Here's what I'll do. I'll start with suffocating Shroud. I'm going to move a presence from land 7 into land 8. And then for each adjacent land with your presence, 1 damage to a different invader. 1, 2, and 3. So that's 1 damage to each invader. That takes out the explorer, takes out the town, which does a fear, and earns another card. And 1 damage to the city, which only has 2 health. So that's 1 hit away. So that was this. Think about this some more. All right, let's do Here There Be Monsters. I'm going to move this presence into land 5, and then you may push 1 explorer. I'm going to push that explorer into land 2, and then 2 fear. target land has any beasts. One more fear. There's no beast there. Now, I can move one presence from land 5 into land 2. And do Dissolving Vapors. 1 fear. 1 damage to each invader. That takes out the 3 explorers. Takes out the town, which is enough to generate another fear card. That's 2 that I've earned for next time. 1 more till level 3. And 1 damage to each. Oh, sorry. To the city too. And 1 damage to each Dahan, and there are none there. My last, Lost in the Swirling Haze, I can push up to 1 Dahan. I think land 8 blighting is a real fear. Although I will need to take out that city. I'm just trying to figure out if I push a presence from land 4 into any of the other lands, that would give me a sacred site, and would that be helpful? Because I do have at least 1 card that needs a sacred site, but again, I could move presence at that time, so I don't think I'm interested in that. I think I'm going to push. I don't want Dahan on land with disease either, though. I'm going to push Dahan from land 4 into land 7 just in case. And that's everything, so let's take these tokens back. It's the end of the slow powers. That was productive, and the board looks surprisingly much better at the end of the last turn. I have 3 cities with 1 hit left each. So now it's time passes. 3 fear. 1 for each of the lands with the damaged invader. And because I had 3, I get 1 energy. About time that happened. Now I'm back to the growth phase. So what are my card options here? Could I realistically take any of this stuff out? It's really all defends and fear. The only way I can do damage is with Suffocating Shroud. I would need a water. I'm only going to have 2 energy to play with. So I'd have to do this in 2 cards. Which is definitely doable. I would have to play one of these 2, element-wise. Then I could play any of the others. But I can't afford to play any of the others. Oh, yeah, one of those 2, and then any of these. I don't need to defend. I'd rather do damage. Might as well take some of this stuff out. And I can destroy, explore. I think it's going to be the Fog Closes In and Poison Dew that I'm going to play. So I think I can do... Oh, I'm getting ahead of myself. I got to pick a growth option. I was thinking I would take growth option 2. Oh, and maybe I do. And I go both off the top track. Water, element, and 2 energy. 4 card plays and a reclaim 1 would be nice as well, though. I think the energy's been more restrictive than the card plays. So I will go top track from growth 2. I could put him anywhere that I have presence. Oops, sorry. Jungle and sand. They're a little more centralized too. So now I get paid for my presence, or for my energy track, which is 2, which means I could afford to play a third card here. And don't have to worry about a Ravage this time. I might just play Haunted by Primal Memories to generate 3 fear. So that'll cost 3. And what will that unlock? So I have 3 moon, 3 water, 2 air. Let me rethink that. Although that card does make some sense. Just wondering if it'd be better to have another air in place of a water. I think it would. Let's swap out that 1 cost card for this 1 cost card. Let's recalculate those elements. I've got now 4 moon, 3 air, 2 water. 4 moon, 3 air, 2 water. Okay. Okay. So, Haunted by Primal Memories, I'm going to target land 7. That's within range 2 of a sacred site. There's invaders. It says 1 fear, which is enough for another card. So we're on tier level 3 now. Defend 3, so I don't know that that's going to matter, but defend 3. And this is why I picked that land. If beasts are present, 2 more fear. Okay. Also fast. Let's pick land 8, I suppose. I guess it doesn't really... Yeah, we'll pick the bottom one. 1 fear. And defend 1 per presence you have in target land. Just in case something comes up, at least I'm defending 2 there. Everything else is slow. Oh goodness, I'm on the edge of my seat. I thought I'd be done by now. So let's draw an event card. Farmers seek the Dahan for aid. Don't remember what this one's all about. The Dahan are uncertain whether to teach the invaders farming techniques more in tune with the island's life. You recommend they either spurn the invaders, which will do what? On each board, 2 damage to Dahan and a land with buildings and Dahan, which I don't know. Okay, I would lose a Dahan. But I'm defending there. I wouldn't even lose the Dahan, so that's okay. On each board, add 1 blight to a land with at least 2 buildings. There are no such lands. And buildings have 1 less health to a minimum of 1 to the end of the turn, so all these buildings would have 1 health. Or teach the invaders, add a town to a land with Dahan. The next normal Ravage becomes a build. And this could be on a future turn. I don't think I want that. Well, I guess I'm going to I'm going to take the top, spurn the invaders. So let me walk through each of these again. On each board, 2 damage to Dahan and a land with buildings in Dahan. So I'm going to do land 7. So that's 2 damage to Dahan, and I'm defending 3 there, so the Dahan are fine. On each board, add 1 blight to a land with at least 2 towns or cities. There's no such land, so no blight to add. Towns or cities have 1 less health to a minimum of 1 until the end of the turn. They already had 1 less, so they are at that minimum of 1 for the rest of this turn. Now, new diseases. On half of the boards, rounding up, so it's just this one board, add 1 disease to a land with both Dahan and invaders. And do 2 damage to Dahan there. The only option is land 7, so do 2 damage to Dahan there, and again they're defended 3, so they're okay. Okay. Blighted Island effects continue, and now we have our fear cards. I've got 3 of them at terror level 3. So the first one, each player removes up to 4 health worth of invaders from a land with beasts, disease, or at least 2 Dahan. I can pick any of these lands. They all have disease. Up to 4 health worth of invaders. They've all got only 1 health anyway. I guess they were already at 1, even if, yeah. Well, let's remove from land 2. And that's removed, so there's no fear generation. Next card. Each player adds 1 strife in a land with or adjacent to beasts. Invaders skip all normal actions in lands with beasts. I guess we'll add a strife in land 8. It is adjacent to a beast. Invaders skip all normal actions in lands with beasts. That's nice. I don't know if you can see that. Let me offset it. Okay. Next one. Destroy all explorers and lands with towns or cities. Each city destroys a town in its land. That one actually won't do anything. But we're in good shape. So I'm going to ravage in the mountains, which does nothing. Wonderful. Build in the jungle, which also does nothing. And we're exploring the coast. Okay. Now slow powers, and I've got 3 of them. Okay, this is going to be it. So I'm going to skip the extra stuff. I'm going to do Suffocating Shroud for each adjacent land with your presence, 1 damage to a different invader. And then the fog closes in is, I guess, the same thing. For each adjacent land with your presence, 1 damage to a different invader. So I'm going to do, Suffocating Shroud to land 8. There's 2 adjacent lands, so that's enough damage to destroy the city. Strife goes away, generates 2 fear. Another card. Not that it matters. Now I'll play the fog closes in on land 7. Again, there's 2 adjacent lands with damage, so that's to that city, which destroys it. Do more fear. And then I suppose I could still push it to Dahan, but at this point there's no more cities on the board, and that was enough for victory. I am shocked. That really turned around. That was thrilling. That was fun. I don't know that reading Ghost Beach book helped much, but I can't discredit it. It may have, subconsciously guided my actions. So what the heck? Let's give it credit. And the Blonde album by Ghost Beach, the band, too. I'm crediting both of those for the victory here. That was great. That was fun to use. an invader as well, even though I really shot myself in the foot early on. I think it's just because I don't use invaders very often, and I'm just starting to get used to it, so I just don't think of it. I kind of forget the effects, but wow, what a ride. I'm really glad I stuck with it. I even thought about quitting early on, but I'm glad I kept going. That was a lot of fun. So if you enjoyed that too, please subscribe, leave a comment. I'd like to hear from you. Let me know if I missed anything. I always leave those notes in the description. And if you're feeling extra generous, head over to my Ko-fi page, ko-fi. The link's in the description. I don't do any other subscription type services or paywalls or anything, but if you feel like making a generous donation, it'll go towards the channel. I know right now I'm dying to get a better lighting situation, and better mic situation would be nice for you too. So you can always make a contribution to that if you'd like to. Otherwise, thanks so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching Table for One.